Sorry about that. No audio. So, yeah, thank you for letting me know. So, can you hear me now? Trying to get my new microphone on, and evidently it didn't work. So, welcome to the Charles Van Morgan Show. Got a new microphone. Evidently, it's not working, so imagine that. But this is the Charles Van Morgan Show. Welcome. Today, we're talking about Operation Epic Fury and the battle that we got going on here in the state of Tennessee, in the United States, and all over the world, and symbolically in the United States, Operation Epic Fury at the polls. Nonviolent war of attrition and messaging. And we're going to draw the battle lines to tell you what we're up against. There is a literal war going on in Iran right now, and there's a war going on in the United States of America against people in government power right now. Very active, very literal, real war that they don't want you to even know about. And we're going to draw the battle lines and explain to you exactly what's going on, draw the battle lines, and talk about our war, Operation Epic Fury, at the polls in the state of Tennessee. So welcome, come on board. This is the Charles Van Morgan Show. Stuff you won't hear anywhere else except for on the Charles Van Morgan Show. So this is new, this is unbridled, this is popped up in a time of need, in a time of war. Stuff you won't hear anywhere else. So subscribe to the channel, help us get the message out. One of the main things in this war is this nonviolent war of information and attrition is getting the message out against people in power to disseminate the truth against their false propaganda. And that's what they're doing. They're disseminating false propaganda every day and promoting and lifting up people who've caused decimation and great travesty in the state of Tennessee and across the United States. So biblically, spiritually, and if you're not biblical or spiritual, there's still a place for you. Come on in. We'll explain it to you. But there is a time of war, according to the Bible, Ecclesiastes, and we'll read you some stuff. That time is good. It's a good time. And so we're right now, as you can see very clearly, if you don't believe in the Bible, if you don't have a spiritual life, you can see worldwide the conflict in Iran and the conflict in Ukraine and Russia. This is a time of war in the world. And it's a time of war in the United States of America, in the state of Tennessee, quite frankly. And we're going to explain that. So come on in. Welcome. Can you all hear me? The war was the THP firing you. No, that wasn't. Well, that was a little bit. What does the Bible have to do with allowing a young man to burn to death? Trying to get my goat. Yeah. Well, that's war. That somebody caused themselves, and there's casualties in war. You know, when you endanger the public, bad stuff might happen to you. And so that's the way that goes. You don't see me burning to death, do you? Because God has His angels around me, I believe, protecting me from evil, protecting me that night. So and that's the war. Is the messaging, the false propaganda they're sending out, even on this channel, you can see, and that's what we're confronting. A lot of times, the best thing to do is confront the enemy and They're so hateful and demonic and disgusting and stenchy. They're bad for their own self. Don't worry about it. God's on our side. So defend somebody that's drunk, endangering themselves and everybody else, and use propaganda, a young man, and blame the warrior that was very successful that night in protecting society and himself and little children going to the hospital that night and not endangering anybody. So yeah, I mean, that's what we're up against. It's not very powerful. It's pretty clear how disgusting the enemy is. I mean, wow. Is that all you got? I mean, and I'm still here, and a lot of the enemy is not. A lot of the enemy is not. Now, they can whine all the way down, but they're not here anymore, and that's another thing about today. Today's a really good day. Actually happened several days ago. Some of the enemy just retired. So let's draw the battle lines very clearly. Very clearly. And this is Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. Fighting the government, people in government power. I'm not fighting government. Government's a good thing. We need good government. We don't have good government now in the state of Tennessee. And we're under a facade. They'd like to keep you thinking we're in a little utopia. And it is a utopia for the people in government power. A great grand utopia. I mean, they got unlimited funds because they got your money, government funds. As soon as you can't provide any more for them, then there's no hospital for you to go to. You fall over dead. And so they got their little utopia going, and their propaganda message telling you everything is fine and grand, and the grander's on their side, and it's hard on you to carry the burden. So the battle lines are very clear. It is us, the mass populace of Tennesseans, me, you, and everybody else, the millions and millions that didn't vote, that have the power in their hands, that I'm trying to wake up. And some of you are already awake, just didn't think you could make a difference. I'm here to tell you can. And against the people in power in our government illegitimately. And you can see it on the news every day. They're selling you a story. They already got who's going to win the next gubernatorial race. They already got it. They already got it figured out. They already got that game plan going. And so you can tell the propaganda on the news. They're even naming candidates that was going to run. It ain't going to run. Some astronaut that said he was going to run, but now he ain't going to run, putting their name out there. You won't hear him put my name out there. And you won't even hear him put my name out there on the several fronts that we're fighting them. They're trying to keep this message quelled undercover, trying to keep it down. If it gets out of the box too much, they'll try to put me in jail again for speaking the truth against their false propaganda. So the battle line is very clear. It is us, mass populace Tennesseans, against the elite people in power. Some of them are coming down right now against the status quo. There is no other candidate in this race to be governor that's a man or woman of war like you and me. They're not there. They're part of the system that's going to keep their self-perpetuating system going. That's going to defraud you of your money and your children's money, your family's money, and quite frankly, their lives. It is a war against people in Tennessee government in every sense of the word, and they are violent, dangerous, horrific people, and we're fighting it not with violence. We're fighting this war with attrition, which we keep going. Don't listen to their scoreboard. It works for them. It's not a real scoreboard. Doesn't work for us. It keeps them in power and you suffering and dying. And we're fighting it peacefully with truthful messaging against their false propaganda. And they're very violent, dangerous people. So be careful. Be careful. They may try to assassinate me. I'm just telling you, it is that serious. If you don't think it is, then you're listening to their false, demonic propaganda that is designed to keep them in power, and you footing the bill with your life at risk, and with your life at risk, no hospitals, no health care, no good jobs, economy wrecked, and money for the elites, the court system under the control of the governor's office, which is a dictatorship. The truth is a lie to them. They flip everything in their favor, and they don't go by the law. And that's the system they want to uphold. So let's see if we got any people in here. Just quite a few. So thank y'all for joining. And so that's the battle lines. The battle lines are people in Tennessee, the mass populace of Tennesseans, the great Tennesseans, against the people in power in our government, the elite people that are selling you a story using the news media, using the newspapers, using newspaper reporters, propagandas, people that I've literally met with them personally. Gave them my time, and I knew, but you still got to try to get a message out. And we're doing better on this YouTube podcast than a lot of well-established news channels are doing. And sit and lie to your face and write dirty stories about you. And you know, I'm not going to mention the news articles or the news stories because nobody's listening to them. If you look at their podcasts, they spend hours and they got like 12 people viewing their videos. So they're really kind of pathetic. And people are used to hearing that garbage. They're tired of hearing it. So we're fighting on several fronts, people in government power, and dangerous work. Very dangerous work. And they have already attempted to hurt me, put me in a hospital, false charges, and the false propaganda, the lies that have been told about me. And they try to destroy my character in order to prevent me from ever winning public office for you. And whatever they say is actually the exact opposite of the truth. Whatever they're saying about me, think about this. Where'd they come up with that concept? If they're accusing me of being violent and dangerous, which I've never been violent and dangerous, not one time ever. I've always been for peace and safety and have done things factually that I can prove to do that. So if they're accusing me of being violent and dangerous, get off the road here, then why are they doing that? If it's not because I'm violent and dangerous, if it's not because they're accusing me of being unethical, they're accusing me of being not candid, accusing me of being a criminal. So if I'm not any of that, and I'm here to tell you truthful messaging, and you can believe whatever you want to believe, and I can tell you the truth whether you want to believe it or not, and the truth is more powerful than lies. And I'm not concerned about the naysayers and the stupid people that don't want to listen. You know, hey, I believe in freedom. The problem is they don't believe in freedom. They like to assassinate and kill me. But God will protect me. Don't worry about Van. God's got me. I believe that. And brought me to this time and place in history. And this is a movement unlike any other. You won't hear anybody talk like this. It's just plain out truth from a real warrior, a real fighter that's really here, really on your side, and is prepared to win. Now, there's no guarantees in wars. There's casualties. Might be me. I hope not. I don't know. I pray that it doesn't happen that way. But I know that I'm engaged in a truthful war for a valid purpose to advance the prosperity, of all Tennesseans, all people throughout the United States of America and the world, and it starts right here in this volunteer state. And that's just the very honest, pure truth of the matter. And the movement is advancing. It is getting out beyond the crooked borders of the state of Tennessee, the people in government power. Some of them are retiring, leaving, that have done some crooked stuff. We're going to talk to you about that when we get to the bridge. And you know, I'll just mention in passing right now, we'll go into a little more detail when we get to the bridge, so hang on. You know, we can't just let you walk out of here like that. I'm not meaning anything violent. I'm meaning our weapons are not violent weapons. Our weapons are, as I've said over and over, I mean, they'll try to flip this around on me with their false propaganda. Our weapons, and I'm saying this for all my viewers and everybody that can hear my message, are not ones of violence. Do not engage in any violent activity. Of course, you have every God-given right to defend yourself in an imminent, immediate attack against evil. It doesn't matter who it is. And so defend yourself. I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying we're not running up to the Capitol and arresting the governor and holding him on trial for making little children suffer in the state of Tennessee, although that is the case. But that's not what we're doing. We're putting a message out to make sure that the next governor in the state of Tennessee, the judges that adjudicate in his favor, are not these rogue people that are against us, and there's more of us, and for them. So the message is one of attrition. Keep going. Don't listen to their score. It's not accurate. I assure you it's not accurate. Listen to my score, is that we're keeping going. And it is a war of messaging, of truthful information against their false propaganda. They're telling you their false propaganda, and they're attacking me. Why are they attacking me? If what they're saying is not true, then maybe the concept that they come up with that they're accusing me of, it's called gaslighting, that they're responsible for that. So everything that they accuse me of, ask one question: are they doing that? If he's not like that, and I'm not, I've got proof positive to show you that, facts and evidence. They got lies and stuff that don't hold water. I mean, they go through so many loops to get where they're going. It's just, can you really believe this stuff? Trying to accuse me of stuff, blaming me for what they're doing. Wow, amazing. And if you want to buy that, you know, go right ahead. If you think, well, maybe they'll advance me in their little utopia world that only benefits them if I lie for them. No, they won't. If you think they care, their conscience is seared. As soon as they're done with you, they'll hang you out too. And this is a war, a fight that's not going away. Not going away. As the president said, and we're fully engaged, as the president said, you know, they'll come whining and let's make a deal and offer stuff. And they did several years ago with me, trying to offer deals and stuff. And I'm not compromising with terrorists, with people who are for the demise of Tennesseans, people in America, for that matter, people throughout the world. I'm not compromising with them. There's no compromise. Just to get power to the upper hand for a temporary time for people in power. That's not what I'm after. I'm after the peace, prosperity, safety, health, protection, a functioning government for all Tennesseans. You won't hear this from any other candidate, any other litigator, any other citizen, any other well-educated, informed person. You won't hear this from any other unbridled news channel, any other news channel. You won't hear this stuff. This is the truth. The civil rights movement was a great thing. That was in the 1960s, 70s, and they're still acting like they're trying to carry the torch in this little fake Black Lives Matter. Let me tell you something, all lives matter. The civil rights movement was in the 60s. That was a great thing. We can learn lessons from that. I've studied that. I have learned lessons. And the women's suffrage movement. And I am for women. God bless women. I'm the product of a widow woman. And a lot of my talents and abilities in conquering and being a warrior is learned through my mother. So I don't have a lot of as many women supporters as I do men, but I assure you I'm on your side. Women have helped me more and been a deterrent in some cases than any man. Vicious, some of them. More vicious than some men. Men will fight you head on with their fists Women are a little more tactical. So we got some of that tactical. And I appreciate women. And I appreciate women's rights. And that women's suffrage movement was an excellent thing. Women should have had the right to vote all the time. And they had to fight for the right to vote. So those were fights in the past that we can learn from. And they're excellent fights. And we can dwell on them and park on them and say everything's fine. But that is in the past. That was then, and this is now. This is March 2026. This is a new era and a new fight for independence and freedom of American citizens and Tennesseans right now. And it's going on in the state of Tennessee. This is a real live movement. Unedited, undoctored, unfixed, pure real live and real live time action of movement of the people of the great state of Tennessee against people in power in our government. As many, not perfect in every detail, but a perfectly unperfect movement that I believe will succeed, although no guarantees, and I need your help in order to get this movement. What this movement is about stopping the elite, the people in power in our government, from continuing to cause mass casualties, quite frankly, across the state of Tennessee in a lot of different ways, in your roadway fatalities, in your health care, in your cost of living, in the things that they are doing. They're like leeches. They're sucking the very lives out of Tennesseans. And they're running the government for themselves. And running this, they got a little utopia of endless amount of your money. And their friends and their neighbors and their judges. They're their judges. They're not judges of the Constitution. They're their judges. And you know, everything is fine for a time as long as you're feeding them and giving them everything you have. And even if they don't need you for some sinister purpose, then you think you're going to be all right, and you won't be. Not under this form of government that's atrocious, that's quite frankly sickening. And throughout all history, those other movements were great. They were fancy. They advanced civilization in a positive manner. And people in the elite power worship those movements. Well, we conquered the unethical and unfair treatment of the races. And we conquered the women's suffrage. Women have a right to vote, and everything's fine now. No, it's not. That was then. They want you to dwell on it. This is now. It's a new fight. It's a new day. We can learn from those movements, but just like those people in the civil rights movement, just like those people in the suffrage movement, had to rise up and fight, had to fight a war, nonviolent wars, of attrition and messaging. That same fight has presented itself to today in March 2026, an election year of the people of the great state of Tennessee. Through you, I'm just your messenger. This is your fight. I can't do it without you, and I ask for your help. Subscribe to the channel, like and share. Let's take over our government, Operation Epic Fury, not with violence, at the polls. Now, these are violent people. Like I said, you know, I may not get there with you. You know, you've heard that before. I believe that I will. But this is real. I'm using prophetic words of the civil rights movement because that was a real movement. This is a real movement brought to you by God on the planet right now in 2026 in March. And it is a fight for our freedom of speech, our very freedom to put out messaging against corrupt people in power. Now you say, well, they're already prosecute people in government power. And it's already a just and correct and fair government. And they tell us that every day, and they do. They tell you how great they are every day. And they hang out a few public officials at random and sometimes intentionally to say, hey, we're a functioning government. We prosecuted this guy for stealing some of your tax money. But that is only a small tip of the iceberg to the corruption that's going on all across the state of Tennessee. It is horrific. Epidemic proportions. Look at the skyrocketing prices, the lack of health care, the takeover of our school systems, the false propaganda they're putting out. So that was then. All these movements. Be a part of this movement today. This is a movement, epic fury, at the polls to take over our state government. I am offering you that opportunity. There's no guarantees in any war. There's no guarantees. I'm your front person, and I need people with me. You don't have to be the front person. You can be a silent voter at the polls, a silent person that calls your friends and family, because I am offering to meet with Tennesseans in every city in the state of Tennessee, not with promoting the conveyor belt of the Republican and Democrat Party. Get on their party, perpetrate their lies, and you advance, and you get to compete for the governor's race. I'm independent of those conveyor belts and just telling you the real raw truth of the matter, that hasn't gotten you anywhere. If you vote for a Republican or Democrat in this race for governor, you're throwing your vote away, and you're perpetrating the continued abuse of you, and even worse than that, your children and your grandchildren and your family into the future. This is the time we have to stand our ground and fight this war, epic fury, in the state of Tennessee, right here, right now. Those other movements are in the past. Our forefathers and foremothers carried the torch. It's time to fire it back up. This is a new day, a new movement. Just like had they not advanced the cause back in those days, women may not have had the right to vote. And we might still have laws against certain races, but they don't have the same rights. And that is wrong. It's wrong. But our forefathers and foremothers had the audacity in that time, now we praise them, to stand up and fight. And we need, in Tennessee today, to stand up and fight, to pick up the torch, as our foremothers and forefathers did, to advance the cause for civilization for people in the state of Tennessee. If you knew how corrupt this government is, and a lot of people do, I believe it's 10 times worse than people have any inkling. And one of the worst things about it is a lot of people think that to get along, to go along, that as long, I know it's corrupt, I know it's dirty, but as long as I just get along, don't cause any waves, don't rock the boat, they'll leave me alone. Where that may have been true in the past, that is not true today. That's why being silent is being deadly to your own self, both in health care, in their misuse of you, and when you get old, or when you get handicapped, or when you can't continue to fund their massive budgets for themselves and their family and their children, then you're no longer useful to them, and they'll get rid of you. Quite frankly, almost actually. They don't have to send somebody with a gun to your house to blow your head off. They'll do it in other ways, although sometimes, quite frankly, they'll do it that way. That's what kind of battle this is. A real live war. Epic fury. So let's pick the torch up. Subscribe to the channel. This isn't conspiracy theory. This isn't fake, false, unbridled news like the regular channels. This is truthful information. And right now you can consider yourself, and even the enemy, we're not going to spread information to let them know our complete and total tactics, none of which are violent like theirs. But you're sitting right next to the forefathers and the foremothers of movements in the past. You're sitting in their war rooms, in their messaging rooms trying to advance the cause for yourself and your families. You can be a part of that today in Tennessee. If you want to be a part of that, subscribe to the channel, share and like, and if you can, fund the movement. This is the movement for you, your government working for you, because it's not working for you right now. It's working, it's literally not just working for them, which would, you know, maybe in some people's world be acceptable. It is a government that is working against you. Against you. And the very few people in power that are trying to make the government work for you, it's working against them too. There are some people in government power that are very happy that we are picking up the torch, advancing the cause. Not everybody in the government is wicked. The system is wicked. The system is off. The system is taking us down. And we need to fight that and pick up the torch. And if you want to join this movement, we're fighting on a lot of fronts. I mean, a lot of people say, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. You look at the initiatives that we're involved in, real life, real stuff. And not conspiracy, truth. And we're going down to our signature location, and I'm going to present some evidence against the state, tell you how we're winning. We're winning a lot. And make sure I don't get ran over. Thank y'all for coming. So we're winning a lot, a heck of a lot. So subscribe to the channel, like and share and comment. And the battle lines are us, the mass populace of people who far outnumber them, against the people, majority of them in government power right now, that are running the government for themselves. And we're fighting that right now, real time, because this is a time of war, a time to take back our country, a time to take back our state, starting in the state of Tennessee. Now, government people are the ones that declare war, not citizens. I'm a warrior. I don't declare war. I follow the lead of people in the government that are elected officials that declare war. And we are at war in Iran. Hello, some of my fans. We are at war in the state of Tennessee. Andy Ogles has declared war against the Tennessee judiciary in the state of Tennessee. So war has been declared by members of our elected government in office, and in God's holy word it speaks about, and I'm just telling you plain language, the authority that we're going forward on. In the Bible it talks about a time of war. There's a time of war. There's a time of peace, and there's a time of war. And it also talks about in that same chapter in Ecclesiastes that it is good, that every season it's good. So when it's a time of war, it's good. Now I know and perfectly aware, and I seen just the other day the sad event of 6 American soldiers getting off an airplane and being loaded into Ford Transit minivans, their caskets, and the president and vice president and the first lady and a lot of our great military officials paying honor and respect to the falling. I know there's a lot of bad in war. That's a consequence. It happens. It happens. It may happen to me. It may happen that you don't fail to fulfill your responsibilities as God would have you to do because of fear of death. Because quite frankly, it is very likely and a possibility to happen through assassination, through advancing the cause. Now, we're nonviolent. They're violent. That's why it may happen. And you know, they got a target on my back the size of California and the size of New York. Would love to take me down, silence this channel. Remember Charles Van Morgan, the brand name Unbridled News. We'll show up somewhere else. We'll show up somewhere else if they take me off YouTube. And I'm not discussing anything violent. I'm just telling you the real seriousness of this endeavor. As in the other days of historic uprisings of the people, and this is a historic uprising of people in the state of Tennessee and across the world. And it is not an uprising of people that think that they're popular and get out on the street and the protest movements. That's not what it is. In fact, it is against those popular to a small group of people in inner cities uprising movements. It is directly against them. Now, it would be politically correct and beneficial in some ways, short term, to stand in some of these crowds in the city of Knoxville, who doesn't like me either, anyway, which, you know, I could care less, because they're not important. They're advancing lies and stuff that will destroy your family and your children. So this is not an uprising of the people you see that are yelling against the government stupidity. They don't want law enforcement. They don't want anything. They just want to yell and spread their hatred and against people in government power. This is not like that. This is directly against them. This is against anarchy. This is a movement. I mean, you look at my description, Operation Epic Fury at the polls. This is a civilized, correct, truthful movement. These other movements are so, I mean, you look at what they're doing and you see some of their chants. Listen to what they are saying. Listen to what some of these huge protests that is sickening. Listen to what some of the things they're saying. I'm not going to repeat it and say, well, that's a movement I want to be a part of. Not anything I want to be a part of. I don't care how many people they think they have. I think there's more people in Tennessee that have good God-given common sense and are not a part of that is going to destroy America. So this isn't, I mean, we're directly against them. We're directly against these popular uprisings in inner cities where a few people don't want law enforcement. Wow. Imagine that. It'd be a wonderful world, wouldn't it? I'm for law enforcement that protects society, not law enforcement that protects the powerful elite, though. I will draw that line. Now, that's a battle line that needs to be fought. That's a battle line that officers want us to fight. So welcome. Come on in. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. Join the movement. 2026 March. A new way, a new day. Old stuff is behind us. Let's march forward. Here's welcome. Come on in. Thank you all very much. And like, share, and subscribe. So we got quite a few people in here building up. So we're drawing the battle lines. It is us, mass populous Tennesseans, not the what they think is mass uprisings of a bunch of crazy people running around saying a bunch of crazy things, walking around the city of Knoxville holding signs up that say all kinds of atrocities, that they're just hate groups. They hate America, hate American birth certificates. They hate the flag. They fly it upside down. And they think there's a lot of them. There's power in numbers, you know. And they get covered by the news media. And the news media don't tell you what they're really after. And it's real easy. It's not complicated. Listen to what they are chanting. And that tells you what they're about. and tell me you want to hold a banner up and get behind these people that are supporting such sickness. It's atrocious. And I'm not going along with that. I'm not going to. And, you know, it would be, like I said, politically correct. I might get a few votes at them, but I'm not going to get a few votes for lies. I'm a real person carrying real truth. And I really believe that real truth can win the hearts and minds of millions of Tennesseans all across this country. And it can. It very well can. Now, their scoreboard says no, it can't. Because in their little uprisings that they think have a mass amount of people shouting atrocities, I'm very unpopular. I mean, in the city of Knoxville, because of the Republican and Democratic Party and those lunatics running around yelling no law enforcement, no National Guard, no kings, although we don't have one. I'm very unpopular with those people. I mean, if I stood up in the middle of them and told them what I believed, I wouldn't get any votes, and I barely got any in the city of Knoxville. But that's not the scoreboard. That's their scoreboard. I'm not going to win votes with those people. I could lie to them, and some of them be foolish enough to believe me and get one or two. But in the long run, that's going to hurt my credibility. And I'm going to tell you what I really believe, because it's the truth. I'm not fake. I'm not a politician. I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter. So I'll tell you my story. And there's more of us than there are them, much more. And when they go protest, let them protest. We know who they are. I filmed them live. We know who they are. Lunatics, listen to what they're yelling. Listen to what Charles Van Morgan, and you, if you're a part of this movement, listen to what you're yelling. You're yelling this from the rooftops, from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. Let freedom ring. You're yelling, let freedom ring. You are yelling, epic fury at the polls, marking our name for governor, marking our name for people that I recommend that are running for public office. Epic fury at the polls. We believe in elections. We believe in the will of the people. They don't. They don't. They want to drown your voice out and show you what they think's mass numbers in the inner cities, where they're corrupted by their little hate group and messages bouncing off hate each other. And we are all across the state of Tennessee, all across the United States of America, all across the world, propagating our message is at the polls. Vote. One of the most peaceful things you can do. Now, they say I'm violent, dangerous. I'm running for public office. One of the most peaceful things to confront the enemy that you can do. And I'm not leader of a hate group. They are. They're leader of a hate group that hates somebody that's running for public office. So listen to our message. Our message is one of freedom. It's one of go vote, waking up Tennesseans to go vote, telling you there's more of us than them. Their message is no law enforcement, wide open borders. Their message is for quite frankly, Black Lives Matter, for black people to hate white people and elevate the black people up, just like white supremacy, black supremacy. That's their message. I'm just telling you straight up. I mean, I've been in places where the color of my skin was a detriment to my safety, health, and well-being because of racist black people, and black people know what I'm talking about. They've been in places where white people are racist. It goes both ways. And when you have a slogan that says Black Lives Matter, you might as well say Black Lives Matter only. I wouldn't say just white lives matter. All lives matter. All voters matter. And you shouldn't get somewhere by your own leaders, quote, by the color of your skin, even if it's black, you shouldn't get a free ride. And that's what's going on now in their little propaganda world. And I'm just telling you the truth about it. All lives matter. All lives matter. All civilian lives matter. All Tennesseans' lives matter. all Americans with birth certificates and Americans' lives matter, and people worldwide, in your country, you matter. Let's see if we can get across the street. It's not. And also, it's not just based on the color of your skin, it's the content of your character. So Black Lives Matter, why don't you just, people with the content of the character lives matter? Because they want to break it down to race. Even if people that are black, some of them, they don't have good character, but their lives matter anyway. You know, it matters less depending on their character. And they shouldn't be listened to. And white people, if you don't have a good character, your life matters less by your own activities. Even if you're white and you don't have good character. And so all lives matter, and all civilian lives matter, even if, I get this, even if you're not in the government, the people in government power want to think that only people in government power lives matter. And that's the lie they're perpetrating. Our lives matter, and you're our footstool, get under us, do what we tell you to do, and then people, I got to say this, people running on a liberty ticket in the state of Tennessee, they don't have a chance in hell of winning. Running on a liberty ticket for governor are talking about some people's liberties, stomping on some people's liberties. Running on a liberty ticket, saying they're for liberty, getting the liberty group's votes, and he is literally stomping on the blood of some people's liberty. Our soldiers. I mean, that's not liberty. That's not liberty. That's sick, atrocious stuff. It's a politician for votes, saying one thing and doing another. That's pretty pathetic. And we got a governor candidate doing that. And I'm not even talking about the top candidate. I'm speaking the truth because it needs to be dealt with. We got a candidate running for governor who's got a small percentage of votes, who's running on liberty. I think the government's too involved with stuff and they need to keep, and running on liberty and acting like fake that he's for liberty, trying to get elected. He's already in the government. That ought to be a ding ding cue. All these other candidates, the leading candidates already in the government now. Is it working for you? I don't think so. How about somebody that is a representative of you, that is willing to meet with you in every city and listen to what you got to say and let you run the government? Just be the fighter to get your will passed against all odds. And trust me, I'll do that. Done it before. I'm not a novice. I know exactly what I'm doing. And pretty damn good at it, if I may say so myself. We haven't lost yet. We're still alive fighting, just losing battles. And we didn't even lose the battle, we advanced the cause. Their scoreboard, we lost the battle because their scoreboard's rigged. I don't pay any attention to their scoreboard other than to mark it off as propaganda. So they're one of the leading candidates, one of the top three, is running for liberty, is running on the Republican ticket. Now get this is the spin in their flip-flop. I mean, they just flip and flop all over the place. I mean, what do you believe? What do you think? And why are you against people's freedoms when you're running on a freedom ticket? Because you're not really against freedom. You're against what certain people interpret as other people's freedoms. Not freedoms to choose either side that people want to choose. And this is what this candidate's really doing. And this is some of the propaganda they're putting out. Now he's acting like he's running on freedom. And I'm dealing with him right straight up front. And he's not even the leading candidate because I'm dealing with false propaganda. And I'll talk to you about that as you look at the beautiful view. You're watching Charles Van Morgan Show live. Operation Epic Fury at the polls. Join the movement. Brand new March 2026. Advance the cause for peace and prosperity of all Tennesseans. That's this movement against people in power that are against you. And we'll talk about one of the third leading candidates. Look at the beautiful view. Awesome, awesome. Like, share, and comment. So, thank y'all for joining. There's the crooked Tennessee courthouse where foreigners, people without an American birth certificate get time to speak in front of a captured audience, in front of a jury, get time protected by law enforcement, get time to speak to American populace. An American citizen, American birth certificate, don't get that same time. Your rights, Tennesseans, your rights aren't with the leading political candidates in the state of Tennessee. They're the one that organized that courthouse over there that gives foreigners the right to speak that aren't American citizens, that don't have an American birth certificate. They organize that. Now, they're not telling you that. I will. They organize that corrupt courthouse that gives foreigners more rights than you. That's the truth. I'm for freedom. They're not for your freedom. They're for freedom of foreigners over your will, over your rights. Now, they won't tell you that. They'll lie to you. But look at what they're doing. So there's the corrupt courthouse. Now, your rights aren't in that courthouse. They tell you they are. That's a place to go get your rights sorted out by the law. No, they're not. That's not true. Those are their rights, for their rights to be advanced in their courtrooms that are owned by the governor, who promotes these dirty judges, who allows people from foreign countries, although he says different, to advance in government positions over you, gives them time to speak. Your rights are not in that courthouse. Your rights are right here on the sidewalk with me, because that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at, right here on the sidewalk. Speaking the truth to power, and I'm not speaking the truth to them. They're not the power. They're the powers that be at this time. You're the powers that be for all time, the mass populace of citizens. You have to be very careful and listen to what I say, because it can be misinterpreted. Because I am not on their side. They're not powerful. That's the reason why they'd like to destroy me. You're powerful. I'm speaking the truth to you. They got their little courtroom, their little facade, their little utopia, their little gluttonous government that's against you. I have got the mass populace of Tennesseans, millions of us, and right now we're on the sidewalk, because that's where they put us. We're the silent mass, millions and millions of majority, and there's a hole in the dam that's getting ready to bust and clobber that dirty courthouse right there and mow it over with our will. And there's many more of us. So I'm speaking the truth to the power to you all. So the other political candidate that's third in the polls, I need to deal with him, because this is how they do the propaganda. So he's running on freedom. He'll tell you freedom. If you called him up today, so I want to know what your position. Oh, I'm for freedom, less government. And he's calling a vaccine, and no matter what side you stand on the issue, if you are anti-vax, I stand with your position to be anti-vax, but don't damn well get one. Don't get a vaccination. I mean, that's your right. I would protect your right to not get a vaccination. I would. That's your right. I wouldn't get involved in that controversy. If you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to publicly be an anti-vaxxer, that's fine. Do it. Got every right. If you want to get in that government power and be an anti-vax and use a position of liberty to spread that lie, then that's where we have a problem. I think it needs to be known that you're not for liberty. You're against a lot of mass millions of Tennesseans that want the liberty to get a vaccination, and you're running on liberty. And you call a vaccination a jab. I mean, those little propaganda things. A vaccination is not a jab to millions of Americans. And when you want to get in public power and you're disseminating messages and fighting against people's will and right to get a vaccination, I got a little problem with your dirty lies. and you're already a public official, that says a lot. So, I mean, how can you be a liberty candidate when you want to annihilate a lot of the populace that want a vaccination? Your own party's leader, the President of the United States, fast-tracked the coronavirus, but you call it a jab for your votes in the Liberty Party that wants to run over liberty and stomp all over it, and you're standing up liberty. Liberty, wow. I mean, both sides should have liberty. How about that? If you don't want a vaccination, you shouldn't get one. You can call it a jab if you want to. You shouldn't run for public office saying that. You shouldn't run for public office. And the audacity of these people. I believe in liberty for all. If you don't want a shot, vaccinations, don't get one. You have a right not to. Should never be forced on you. If you want a vaccination, it's not a damn jab. You ought to have the right to give it. That's how they flip-flop on it. They're going to ride on the coattails, running on a ticket of liberty by stopping liberty. I mean, just think about some of the ridiculous, ludicrous stuff that they're saying. It's very simple, the message that I'm portraying. Very simple. It comes from a background of an education of knowledge from the University of Tennessee, a background in education in sociology, a Master of Arts in Sociology with an emphasis in criminology. All people form groups, and groups fight for limited resources. And they fight for the limited resources at the expense sometimes of other people. The people in government power have fought for limited resources so much that they're gluttonous. They're a danger to you. Look at the beautiful view here. We're here in Knoxville, Tennessee, at our signature location. You must have DUI convictions. Yeah, listen to these. Yeah. Nope, I don't think so. So, the battle lines are liberty. I'm running on the liberty ticket. Liberty for both sides. You can't run on liberty and ostracize half the population of the state of Tennessee, or maybe more than that. And so we're really running on liberty. So, the battle lines are us, the mass populace of Tennesseans, more of us, millions more, versus the people in government power right now. And we're going to talk about some of the atrocities, some of the things that people in government power are doing. And we need to fight them. Operation Epic Fury, now's the time, a time of war. Declared by people in power, not by me. I'm just the foot soldier. I'm just the warrior. Join us in this fight in Operation Epic Fury. In our fight, as declared by Andy Ogles against the Tennessee judiciary. And I'm expanding that. A fight at the polls against people in government power. We're going to talk about that. About, if you see my screenshot, that is a former major of the Highway Patrol. We're going to talk about a little of the wickedness and the evil that they're doing in the state of Tennessee. Now here is Major Stacy Heatherly. Caused a lot of hell on the planet, a lot of suffering, fire, and people getting killed on roads in Tennessee. Now her propaganda, this is some propaganda they put out. She's being honored by veterans. I'm just talking about the battle lines. All of us against them. And I'm not talking about all of us against the jab. I mean, if you want to be against the jab, then that's fine. I'll protect your right to not get vaccinated. But there's another side that don't think it's a jab, that think it saves lives, and it has saved lives, saved a lot of lives. And the own leader of your Republican Party is the one that fast-tracked that. So how you flip around that, people say, well, he just did it for this. He fast-tracked the vaccine and got it his damn self. And it saved lives. But if you don't want to get it, that's fine. But so the battle lines are us, mass Tennesseans, against people in power. And we're going to talk to you about the corruption of the people in power. And some of them have robbed the store, like Clint Eastwood. They're in there hoodlums, and they've robbed the store. Now, I came in there, and I've been a fighter all my life. And I ordered some coffee, and for years and years, I've been getting it black. I walk out of the store and take a drink of it. It's got sugar in it, tons of sugar in it. So, I know something's up, so I go in there. I'm gonna make a complaint. Go in that store and to complain. I walk in, there's people, her people in government power, Stacy Heatherly, robbing the store. And I'll tell you how she robbed the store. Got people held prisoner with a gun. She got a gun right there. Look at that gun right there on the side. Let's see if you can see it. Robbing the store, and with propaganda and falsehoods. And she asked, why'd you come back in here? Because she's on her way out. And my message, well, I ordered some coffee, and for 30 years I've been coming in here, and it's been black coffee, and I walk out today and it's got sugar filled in it, and I came in here to complain. And I see you in here robbing the store, got a gun against somebody's head, got a gun, you know, robbing these people, trying to rob integrity. You can't rob integrity, you gotta earn integrity. You can't just rob that elderly. You gotta earn that integrity. But oh yeah, a little integrity. So my statement peacefully, and this is just symbolic. This is a parody, so they don't arrest me because I'm not threatened. But so she's telling me stand right there. They're going to walk out. She's going to walk out of here. You know, she's retiring. Going to walk out with all the money, all the retirement money. We'll explain that to you after she's taken it away from hard-working troopers on the road, not me, other ones, other law enforcement officers, other people robbing the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. That's what they're doing. I'm telling you about how people are doing it. I'm doing it poetically. Hang on, we'll give you the story. So I'm talking about the Clint Eastwood movie. Many of y'all have seen it. It's called Sudden Impact. We're doing a little parody, but real truthful here. The real truth. She's trying to walk out of here. Call me Harry Callahan. And she asked me, well, I come back in there. I come back in there because I was going to complain. I'm complaining. So she's telling me, stand right there. She's just going to walk out of here. She's retiring after she's raped the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. I'll explain how she's done that. Not just for me and a lot of troopers that have risked their life on the road, to teachers and people all across the state that are state employees. She's robbed your Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. I'll explain to you how. And I'm telling her, I'm retiring, you know, I'm going to get out of here. You just stand there, Van. Don't do nothing. I got the drop on this guy. He ain't got the drop on me. You ain't got nothing but a stolen money full of lies and false propaganda, because I'm pretty quick on the draw and very accurate, I might say. Look at the data. I mean, baby, I put more people in jail than anybody in the state out on the road by myself at night, and you call me a coward? I think not. So she tells me to stand there because she's gonna walk out. She's gonna retire. And here's my message to Major Stacy Heatherly, a parody, non-violent, but my symbolic message to you with truthful information against your false propaganda. Like Clint Eastwood said, well, we're not just going to let you walk out of here, crook. You can retire all you want to. It don't wipe what the travesty and devastation and the thievery that you've done. You're not walking out of here like that. And she says to me, who's we, sucker? That's what Major Heatherly says. Slowly, symbolically, I'm drawing my truth while she's spitting out her propaganda. You can't do nothing to me. Yeah, I bet I can. I bet I can. You mess with something that you don't know nothing about. And you just an idiot, ignorant person. And it ain't going away. And you thought you was chasing me. Well, we ain't just gonna let you walk out of here. Who's we, sucker? That's Stacy Heatherly. Major Heatherly. We ain't gonna let you walk out of here. I'm walking out of here with awards and greatness, and I'm a wonderful human being. Yeah, no, we ain't gonna let you walk out of here. Slowly drawing my truth, Smith & Wesson, me, drawing my truth bombs, not weapons. A parody, TBI, don't come and get me. Chattanooga police, I'm speaking the truth to power to Tennesseans. You got a lot of trouble. A lot more people know who I am, where I'm at right now. Assassination attempt won't do you any good today. Didn't do you any damn good then. It ain't gonna do no damn good today. The more you stomp, the louder I yell. I come from literally from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. That's where my mother lived when I was born. Where prophetically, Dr. Martin Luther King said, let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. Well, hello. So prophetically with speech, I'm drawing my .44 caliber, putting the truth about her. And so let's talk about a little truth about Major Stacy Heatherly. Now, I talked about previously, now she's trying to retire, and I'll tell you how she's ripping off the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. So is Matt Perry, the coward that he is, promoted because his aunt was a former Tennessee Supreme Court unjustice. We need to vote every one of them out. So I spoke earlier about her stealing valor. She claimed in a speech, a pamphlet advertising a speech that she was doing, to be retired from the 1175th Division of the Army National Guard. Retired, claimed to be a veteran. She never served a day. Trying to get valor as she was in the military when she never served a day. That's called stealing valor. So I spoke about that, showed the pamphlet. And now, to fight against my truth, she's getting awards from real veterans. Wow, so that makes you a veteran? Because so they're trying to counter my truth. The truth is she stole valor, and now she's getting propped up by real honorable people that shouldn't do what they're doing. They ought to be helping Larry Bledsoe get his real valor that he earned. So we're drawing the battle lines. This is Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. If you're just joining me, we're drawing the battle lines. Several fronts we're fighting this. Share, like, subscribe to the channel. Help us advance this messaging. That's part of the battle, is the messaging. It's not with a bullet. We're not letting her walk out of here like that with a message against her that I'm getting ready to commence in real live action. Hello, people in government power. You didn't get it done. You're not going to get it done. This is my thing. This is what I do. It's a wonderful thing. The Bible says that war is good. This is good. This is my time. This is my place. This is my world. I'm right at home. People say I'm bitter. Does this smile on my face make you think I'm bitter? I'm not bitter. It's a wonderful thing. Before they started this fight with me, I was fighting for you out on the road, protecting Tennesseans. They started to fight with me, taking me off the roads where I couldn't protect you as far as highway safety, and made the roads more dangerous. So they just switched the war. Now I'm fighting for you. We are fighting in a different manner. We're fighting directly, the target's on her back, against her, a message of truth, of attrition. The battle lines are clear if you're just joining me. This is Charles Van Morgan. It's a time of war. Very clearly, look at Iran. Look at Andy Ogle in the United States. Public officials have declared war. The Bible speaks very clearly. There's a time for war in that same passage of Scripture. It said that all times are good in that time. When it's a time of war, it's a good time. It's a good time right now. This is my time. My time to fight and your time to fight the state government, to make the state government your government, because it is not right now. That's the battle lines. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. A phrase I hear every day, all the time. That's what we're fighting. We're fighting the rich that don't deserve, that have gotten money off exploitation of you. We're fighting the people in power. Those are the rich, the people in power. They control the system against you. The mass populace of Tennesseans, there's more of us. So the battle lines are the few people in government power. There was over 1 million that voted for the governor, and there's about 5 million more of us than them. A small percentage blows them off the map. Operation Epic Fury at the polls. A vote for them is a wasted vote. A vote for us is one of the millions. And even if we should succumb eventually, we still show up at the polls and have an impact. They have to listen to us. And I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't believe that's going to happen. It is possible. I need your help. I need you to subscribe, spread the message. There are casualties in war. 6 bodies came back on a plane just the other day. They could assassinate me. They'd love to. They've tried. They put me in jail, all kinds of lies. Look at the lies. I mean, why are they doing that? Why did Iran kill our 6 soldiers? Because they don't want America to stop them from attacking us. They want to have free reign. Why are they attacking me? They want to have free reign. They want to keep controlling you. They want to keep lying to you. They want to keep living off your hard work. They want to keep denying you freedom and liberty, and even lying about it. Got a candidate running on liberty that's chopping off half the liberty for half of them, Tennesseans and Americans. Just complete total lies. It's real simple. It's not complicated. It's us, millions of Tennesseans against them. If you're just joining me, subscribe to the channel, like and share. A real battle, a real time of war. This is a good time right now. It will be over, and we'll see if we won or not. If the people in power are still in power, we lost, and there'll be casualties. It may be me, I don't know. I hope not. I'm not afraid of that. I'll stand before God, did what I should have done. I pray that it doesn't happen. Pray for my safety and protection and well-being, because it is a real threat. There's a real target on my back. Really, I feel it. I know it, and it's from her. She's already attacked me. She didn't get it done. She might. I don't know. They're powerful people. We need to fight them. Not like they do with violence. Operation Epic Fury at the polls. Been declared righteous fight by God here in the state of Tennessee, in the volunteer state. We'll spread it across the United States. Who knows where this will go in other countries. Thank you, UK, Canada, and women. Thank you for your help. I learned a lot from my mother. I'm not the product of a man. I'm the son of a widow from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. My dad was killed in a car wreck when I was 2 years old. I learned my fight from my mother, who was a fighter and a half. I challenged any man to go against her in the fight for her children. And I challenge anybody to come against me in the fight for my family and Tennesseans. And that's the battle lines. And these people in government power, we're going to talk about how crooked they are, the messaging. They put out falseness, how great they are. Wow, they got veterans giving them awards. Why are they saying that for? Because they're stealing valor. That doesn't give you valor, because a veteran gives you an award. So, information, social influence, the influence of other people that lead us to conform because we see them as a source of information to guide our behavior. We confirm because we believe that others' interpretation of an ambiguous situation is more correct than ours and will help us choose an appropriate course of action. Conforming to other people's behavior out of a genuine belief that what they are doing or saying is right. Now, I'm asking you not to conform. That's what they're trying to do, set up this utopia for them and tell you that they're good and other people conform. And I'm here to tell you, don't believe a damn word they're saying. They're lying. So Major Stacy Heatherly and her little corrupt government, now, she got promoted to major about a year, less than a year ago. less than a year ago, she got promoted to major. And she got promoted not because of her protecting Tennesseans, mass millions of Tennesseans, and not because of her ability to even protect herself. She got promoted because she backs up the elite, the people in power. She's one of them. She's a liar for them. And the people in power build her up and perpetrate that she's a good person when she's not. Now, she had directly lied to get my job taken away from me while I was out protecting you all. Now she created an environment in Tennessee that caused millions of Tennesseans, thousands of Tennesseans, to get killed on Tennessee roadways. Has no education in protecting roads, all the way up to major in the state of Tennessee. And so they perpetrated a facade that she was good for public safety. She was involved in a wreck herself with a drunk driver. And because she created an environment, she had the ability to stop drunk drivers, to leave me out on the road. I would have made it safer for her. These people in government power even make it dangerous for themselves. So they put out, these are the people in power. This is us, millions of Tennesseans, against people in public power that create propaganda, building themselves up to maintain power. There's very few of them. And they even promote themselves. Now here's a resolution where people in government power praise her. No, we can't, let's let her walk out of here like that. We're going to tell the truth about her. Her retiring and ripping off the taxpayers, ripping off people affiliated with Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. You know, we can't just let her walk out of here like that, like Clint Eastwood. So here's how their propaganda, and this is true. This is fighting their falsehood. Now here's a resolution in honor of Bergen H. Wood of Jacksboro. Now that's her father. So they make resolutions. This is a government resolution in a government office praising Stacy Heatherly, praising one of their people that helped them maintain their power at your demise, even making it dangerous for them. So they use positions of government power as state-run media to praise their little elite and put down people like me. So here's a resolution by her. Here's a resolution. Director of La Follette Medical Foundation, and whereas I enjoyed the companionship of Virginia Joe Clinchwood Wood, his wife and co-pilot, 69 years, and was a proud father of Stacy Wood Heatherly. Stacy Wood Heatherly. So here's a resolution in the government honoring her, father of Stacy Wood Heatherly. So they're making a government resolution to honor people in government power, to maintain that they're great people while they rob the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. And we can't just let them walk out of here like that. So that's Stacy Wood Heatherly. So that's their propaganda. That's propaganda. This is false propaganda. She's not an honorable person. She made the road so dangerous that she hurt herself. We're not going to just let her walk out of here like that. So really horrific. And they're using the government to tell you that she's good. Look at this. Here's her standing beside military people while she's stealing valor. But she's good. They're praising her, but that's propaganda. There's no value to that. She didn't fight in a war. She didn't do anything of substantial that should be giving her credit to get those awards. That's propaganda. That's false. That's fake. That's the government telling you that the government is good. That's what they do. That's how they stay in power. While she, in fact, at that time, had spoke at an event where she alleged that she was retired from the military, stealing valor. And because I spoke out against that, she's going to, I'll do one more. I'll get military people, and of course they do. Of course they do. Honor the government instead of honoring one of their own soldiers that actually fought in Vietnam. Larry Bledsoe ought to be standing there getting a Purple Heart. So she is standing there. She's standing there, right there. And these people, vets, Vietnam, not. So in order to perpetrate that she's a good person, she's got these two veterans here. She's not a veteran. She's not a veteran. She doesn't deserve military honors. In fact, she is stealing valor at the time she's there. That's how the government puts her false propaganda out. She made the roads more dangerous for you. You can't just let her walk out of here like that. I got to tell the truth about her. This show is for you. Truthful show. You know, you started a war while I was out fighting a war, thinking it was a little game. This ain't a game. This is about little children's lives that you cost. This is, and you can dance around all these important people all you want to. You're a drunken coward, is what you are. And I say that today. I'm still alive. You didn't get me, and you're not going to. I enjoy this. Do you still? I don't think she does. I think she's post-toasties. You know, I mean, don't start a war. You read the information. You got some bad data, and so they're saying she's good. I say she's not. All these powerful people in the government. All these powerful people in the government. I disagree. I disagree with you. Wow, oh man, cover up. Oh, this is America. What about the First Amendment? She doesn't believe in the First Amendment. They don't believe in the First Amendment. People in government power do not believe, for the most part, in the First Amendment. They don't. They don't believe I have a right to call her a drunken coward, and I'm calling her that. But that's what she is. We can't let her walk out here like that. She's robbing the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. So what they do, people in government power, they have the government set up for them, by them, for them, against you. Now, here's what they do. Now, all state employees pay into the Tennessee State Consolidated Retirement System. School teachers, lowly paid school teachers teaching little children. Thank you, school teachers all across Tennessee. Now, I'm just telling you some inside information. Now, they pay into the Consolidated Retirement System, and when you retire, you get money based on how much you paid in the system based on what your pay was. So the higher you go up in the department or in the profession that you're in, then the more money you get paid, which is guarded by them, what position you get hired to. Now, Major Stacy Heatherly, her position and rank was guarded by Tracy Trots to the bathroom, who promoted her, and he's deceased now, which is a safer world. And so she got more money when she got promoted in the retirement system. There's another captain there that should have been major that she got promoted and made it more dangerous for people. So she paid into the Tennessee State Consolidated Retirement System. She got advanced to major and got, for less than a year, and that's what they do. It's like musical chairs. They leave a major position open at the highest level in the state government because at that position they can promote all their cronies, all the people that have advanced the cause of the government by them, for them. Then they leave that position open, so if you fight dirty and spread lies and maintain the power, legitimate power of the government, and maintain the power of the parties, then you get promoted in that seat, in the musical chair seat, for a short period of time, so that you can retire at major level, so that your retirement for the rest of your miserable life is higher because you've got an advancement in pay, right, raising all the way to major. So they leave that major chair open. And they have it where if you're one of them and you lie and you endanger the public for them, then you get more money when you retire. And then you just get that job for a period of time. They want to leave it open, and then they promote one of their other cronies to that position. So you get more money for retirement. And they don't even work it long, a few months at that position. They just lock in. Okay, here's one of our cronies down here, a captain that has got captain's pay for being a crony, for being our friend. Their daddy or mother, sister, cousins already in government. They're part of our elite small group. So we want to bless them with taxpayer money, with my money, your money, and other troopers' money. I'll show you the tragedy in this. So we advance them to major for a few short months to lock in major pay. Now they don't really do any work or do anything to advance society, even do worse. They pose for pictures acting like they're honorable when they're dirty, drunken sots, which is what she is. You can see the picture icon. That's what kind of person she is. That's what she does. You know, it's done that to Tennesseans, and he ain't doing that to me. I got another message for you. It's called the truth. It's called thank you. I love to fight. It's a wonderful thing. It's a good time. You can't just walk out of here. And so they promoted her to major for a short period of time to lock in that major pay, so that she gets to live her miserable life on your tax money with the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System, higher advance pay. And next they'll promote somebody else to that position, probably for a short period of time. Maybe not, since I'm pointing it out, so that they can retire. They're one of their cronies at major position. Wonderful life for their family, and their children and their grandchildren don't have to work because they get so much money off your tax money off the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. Now, at the top, it's so top heavy, the retirement's so top heavy, that the system would go broke. The Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System is one of the most reputable and one of the most secure retirement systems in the United States of America. Because why? Because it's one of the corrupt. You say, well, if it's one of the most secure, that would mean it wasn't corrupt. No. See, that's where they try to trick you. The reason why it's so secure is it is so secure for them. It's so secure for Major Stacy Heatherly. She's guaranteed a payment for the rest of her life at major level that she didn't even work. They put them in that position for a few short months to get them locked into that pay, and then they retire. And then they bring another one up to major to lock them in that pay, one of their cronies, and then they retire. It's one of the most secure because of the corruption in it. Let me explain this to you. It's not complicated. So in order to keep those funded, because they have to keep paying these high-confluting majors the high salary that they've locked into majors. There's a lot of majors, a lot of top-heavy that serve them. They have to find out where to get the damn money at, because the system would become insolvent if they keep promoting people to major and locking them into high pay and then retiring them. They can't keep doing that. So what do? Among other things, a lot of troopers working the road, out here risking their life, some of them getting killed, stopping cars every day, confronting evil and violence on the road, not sitting in an office building line for the elite and posing for pictures with military veterans while you're standing there lying about your own military service. That's non-existent. Then those hard-working troopers working the road. Now, young troopers, listen to me. This is what you got going on. This is why you ought to vote for me, because I won't let this happen. What they do is, right before, a few years before, after troopers have fought hard all their life, smart troopers that have survived, and when you're maybe have just a few years to retire, in order to keep the retirement system solvent, they fire troopers based on bogus reasons, false reasons, so they don't get their full retirement. Because if they let them retire, they don't fire them early, they get their full retirement. That costs the system money. It should. Those troopers deserve it. I deserved it. Marty Nix deserved it. A lot of captains that served well deserved it. They fire those troopers, and they don't tell you the full extent of why they fired them. They lie about it. One trooper got fired for reporting sexual harassment, and he got fired, and a corrupt Tennessee judiciary ruled in their favor, because they rule in favor of the Tennessee consolidated system that they're under too a lot, and they get money off of it. So they get rid of hardworking troopers, steal their money through the unjust, crooked legal system, so that they use the money that would have been mine, because I saved lives on the road. They got rid of me early. I didn't retire at my full pay at 30 years. Other troopers too. They get rid of hard-working troopers out on the road and give the ones to their cronies in the office building that are posing for pictures, putting out false line propaganda, acting like the state government's in good shape, and they get our retirement money. We can't just let you walk out of here stealing our retirement money. So she legally stole a lot of troopers' retirement money. They fire troopers working the road so that they don't get their full retirement, so that they can keep the Tennessee consolidated system solvent, because they're giving so much money to these crooks at the top. And one of them just retired the other day, and we can't just let you walk out of here like that. You're a danger to yourself and others, and just because you're retiring, what you've done to public safety and what you've done to maintain the power of the status quo doesn't go away. It's still out here. I'm still out here fighting against you, not with weapons like you. Came to my house one time and chasing me down like I guess she thinks she's a canine. I'm terrified. Does it look like I'm scared? They don't understand. This is all a big facade to them, just some big damn game about their wonderful little world. And when you're somebody like me, this is about little children. This is about families. This is about people's lives. This is about affordability. This is about health care. This is about real people. This is about caring for real people. For them, it's just about making it a beautiful world for themselves and their upper powerful elite people. For me, this is about you, every one of you. And I'm just explaining with the truth about how it's us, millions of Tennesseans, against them, the very few that are scared to death of us. So let's read you this. This is what it's about for me. Jesus Cares. The book of Revelation is a whole book dedicated to offering comfort to persecuted believers. It explains that Jesus, his Father, sees our tears, hears our prayers, values our sacrifices. I've had a lot of sacrifices because of their persecution. It's not wasted. God values that. He put me on the planet to do what I'm doing. If you don't believe me, don't understand, God does. God's behind right. God's behind truth. They're behind a bunch of lies. I'm just pointing it out. Don't kill the messenger. They may. I hope not. Pray for my safety as I pray for yours. They may try to assassinate me. This is that powerful of a movement. Now they say it's not. I proclaim that it damn well is. Very powerful. It's taken over. It's grassroots. It didn't just start yesterday. It's been in the works a long time. We're moving forward. Not perfectly perfect. Time of war. It's our time. Declared by statesmen. A good time. And we're going forward in it. Here's our prayers, values our sacrifices, avenges our wrong. God avenges our wrong. Jesus Cares, he avenges our wrong. Expects us to do what we can about wrong, peacefully. If we're being attacked physically, then you got a right to defend yourself. Assures our victory, our ultimate victory. We're going to win. Assures our victory. A key word in the book of Revelation is overcome. Overcome. We're overcoming this. Road, corrupt, crooked government. Us against them. The rich, few, powerful elite that are running the government. Don't fool yourself. People know that. Against the mass millions of Tennesseans that are waking up every day. Over 2.3 million people. Thank you very much. We're perfectly unperfect. And of the 28 times it is used in the New Testament, John used it 24 times, once in his gospel account, 6 times in his epistles, and 17 times in Revelation. Overcome. We're overcoming. An excellent one-line summary of Revelations is, if you will overcome, then you may come over and live with God. He has shown he cares for you. Have you shown that you care for him? Jesus cares. Jesus cares about us. Jesus cares about people. So we have here a picture of, let's let her walk out of here, Major Stacy Heatherly at a funeral of a honorable police officer in Blount County that was killed making a drunk driving arrest. I made more than anybody in the state that could have been killed. Wasn't, thank God. He protected me. I pray that he protects me and you. Acting like she cares. Can't just let her walk out of here like that. Symbolically a parody. Standing beside an honorable deputy, he's in the background here, that had a funeral where he mentioned the Lord Jesus Christ at his funeral. There are good people right there in the blue jeans. There are good people in government that can't do a lot about it. God's put me outside the end to be able to fight these crooked people in government power, and that's exactly what we're doing. So let's look at some of the other information about people in government power. Let me read you this little poem. Now this is talking about me and us, the angel of the night. Fear not the night, fear that which walks the night. And I am that which walks the night, but only evil need fear me. The only people that need fear me is people in government power that are wielding it wrongly. But only evil need fear me, and gentle souls sleep safe in their beds because I walk the night. It's by Dave Grossman. So that is our marching theme that helps us advance the cause to move forward against the people in power in the Tennessee government. So let's look at some more information about Major Stacy Heatherly, who we can't let her walk out of here like that. Here is two police officers out of the 4 that were killed in 2011, the same year that she lied about me. And here's a picture of her retiring now. So yeah, that says a lot. Now that was a picture posted that she sent out over her email, disseminated publicly, so I'm disseminated publicly. So these people, here's a picture of her. Here's a picture of her in wrinkly clothes. See her, I mean, the symbol of a trooper is spotless iron, clean uniform, but not her. Now she's retiring. Now she's retiring. So I had a alleged friend who got mad at me the other day because I told him to have hope. So he commenced to cussing me. Ooh, ouch. And trying to take my hope away from me. Don't let people take your hope away from you. No matter what, don't let people take your hope away from you. God wins every time. He's not losing, he's not surprised, he's not upset. Pray and ask God to protect you, he will. So here's my statement about hope. This is what we have in Tennessee. We have hope. That's what this movement's about. This movement's about hope in spite of what appears to be massive adversity. I'm here to tell you it's not massive. That's a facade. I'm telling you, have hope. Now, this man told me, well, I don't have time to wait for hope. Well, you don't have to wait for hope. You can have hope right here, right now. Right in your present moment. Anytime you can bow your head and say, God, please help me. In Jesus' name I pray. You can have hope right then. You got to wait for hope. You just got to have it. Or you can have disgusting, despicable, deceitful, wicked person that tries to destroy other people's hope. Well, let me tell you a message to people. You're not destroying my hope. It ain't going to happen. Hope, if everything were going your way, there'd be little need for hope. Hope comes into play when circumstances are dire. Things are not going well for you. There's considerable uncertainty about how things will turn out. Hope arises precisely within these moments when hopelessness or despair seems just as likely. Perhaps you failed important tests, lost your job, scooped up your child after a bloody bike accident. Hope in desperate situations like these is fearing the worst, but yearning for better. Deep within the core of hope is belief that things can change. They can. They absolutely can. No matter how awful or uncertain they are, the moment things can turn out better. Possibility exists. I'm saying this because somebody tried to destroy my hope the other day because I was telling them to have hope. They said they didn't have time to have hope. Commenced to cussing. I say you can have hope right now. You can have hope anytime you choose to have hope. And as long as God is alive, and He is, let me assure you, very much so, working in the affairs of man on the planet Earth. I know that. In my heart, I know that. As long as God's alive, we always have hope. And God's never going to die. He's from eternity to eternity. So we always have hope. No matter what things look like, you can always say, God, help me. And He will. I believe that. No matter what your circumstances are, no matter how wicked the government is, no matter what they do dirty, we always have hope. You can't beat that fight because you can't take the hope out of a Christian. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. A God-fearing Christian, no matter how awful or uncertain things are, the moment things can turn out better. And by this author, they didn't say this, but if you just pray and say, God, help me. In Jesus' name I pray, and I assure you He will. I don't know exactly how, but God will help. Beyond human understanding, possibility exists as long as God's alive. And He is, let me assure you. This movement will go forward in God's name for God's good purposes, I believe. Hope sustains you. It keeps you from collapsing into despair. It motivates you to tap into your own capabilities and inventiveness, to turn things around. It inspires you to plan for a better future. With hope, we become energized. I must be late for work. To do as much as we can to make a good life for ourselves and for others. And that's what this movement is about. It is a hope, however minute, however bad things may look, and a lot of it's propaganda. It's not nowhere near as bad as what they would have you to believe. We have hope. This is a book on positivity by Barbara L. Fredrickson, PhD. And I would add in here, as I have, that it's not just a panacea. It's not just a pipe dream. Prayer's real. It really works. Every time. And pray. And there's hope. Pray that God gives you hope if you have none. I pray that Tennesseans, the millions of Tennesseans, will see this message, the very clear battle lines, the authority that we have from declared war by statesmen, both at the highest levels of government and the government in Tennessee, by statesmen, elected officials, in war. So going on their authority, we are at war, symbolically a peaceful war of attrition, nonviolence, at the polls with people, the small group of people in government power, that seek to demoralize and cause us to have no hope, that it's not worth it, there's nothing we can do, succumb. I challenge you today, subscribe to the channel, share the message, support, fund the movement. There is every bit of hope, and I am energized today. I'm excited today because this is my time. I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter. That's what I do, that's what I'm here for. I'm perfectly perfect. This is what you get. This is what God sent. We have hope. No matter who you are, you're not going to destroy my hope. God's still alive. I still pray. I pray that millions of Tennesseans, there's much more of us, will go enact epic fury. Remember epic fury at the polls. Stop the Iranians. Stop the people in government power. Bomb them at the polls with your vote. Mark your little pen, push your little button. Charles Van Morgan, you're voting for yourself. Let me assure you, I have a track record of voting for you, of enacting government policies to facilitate benefit for you, and I've even gotten better at it. I got a few scars that have made me just a little bit tougher, a little bit better. God's put me in this direction. I was better than any trooper on the state at doing what I was doing, providing for highway safety. We can be better than any political candidate in the history of the state of Tennessee, not just me, all of you all, by banding together in this movement. Vote. Voters of truth enraged until we get voters of truth encouraged, and that's when we'll be in your city and town, in the state of Tennessee, different cities every month, listening to you, listening to your problems, listening to your situation. Going to Nashville and using the resources of the government, which it should be, to benefit you, and not these small group of elite power mongers that are even dangerous for themselves. We love our enemies. We're doing them a damn favor. They're dangerous to themselves. Major Stacy Heatherly got hit by a drunk driver that she caused that environment. She was in the state patrol, responsible for keeping fatality rates and accidents down caused by drunk drivers. Couldn't even do that and protect herself. Had she left us alone, it would have been a better environment. So I pray that Tennesseans wake up and have hope for yourself. Subscribe to the channel, and unlike any politician in history, I'm not wanting everybody's vote. I'm wanting the vote of millions of Tennesseans that want the truth, that want their government to serve and work for them. Not somebody that runs on liberty, that only wants half the liberty and wants to shut the other side out, calling a vaccination a jab when there's millions of Tennesseans that don't think it's a jab. So what about those people? I'm talking about freedom for everybody. So let's talk about being stuck. People think we're stuck. We're not stuck. Your stuckness is not inevitable. It is not bad. Inevitable and useful, whether personal or professional. Being stuck is painful. And we're stuck right now. However, most of us layer additional pain on top of the stuckness because we believe that we're not supposed to be stuck. And we're supposed to be stuck right now. We're getting out of it. We believe that we're not supposed to be stuck. We believe that if we are stuck, something has gone wrong. Stuckness hurts, but it is not wrong, bad. It is inevitable and useful. Now, we've been stuck, I have for about 14 years now. But the stuck has been in law schools, has been in training, has been getting the heat on, has been making me tougher. If you approach your stuckness in this way, it will hurt less and you'll get more out of it. And when you finally make it through to the other side, then we can remember how beneficial the being stuck was. Ways to get unstuck. Stop doing what you're doing. Do something else. Wait until you experience a flash of inspiration. Get back to what you're doing. Apply what you learned. And that's exactly what we're doing. And here's some things about trouble can cause you to get up and say, I'm going to try something different. The government's caused us trouble. Don't rest on our laurels. The art of becoming wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. Get a lot of ideals. Look beyond the first right answer. One thing can lead to something completely different. Expect the unexpected. Shift your focus. Don't overlook the obvious. What resources are right in front of us? The YouTube, the legal means, the knocking on doors, the mass assimilation, calling friends. Pay attention to small things. What are small things that could have a big impact? Just call one of your friends today. Tell them subscribe to the channel. To pay attention to the governor's race. A new movement is coming to town that will represent you in every city that we can get to in the state of Tennessee, listening to Tennesseans. People find what they're looking for. Set your mental channel on good possibility. Set our mental channel on we can win this race. Not me, you. I'm just the ticket to advance your cause. Figuring out how to win this election is what we need to be focused on. So the corruption of human judges is a reoccurring theme in the Bible, highlighting the moral and ethical failures of these entrusted with the responsibility of administering justice. This corruption is often depicted as a deviation from God's standard, leading to societal decay and divine judgment. That's what it's a moral decay in the judiciary. And that's what we're going to overcome. In the Old Testament, the role of judges was critical for maintaining justice and righteousness within the community. However, the corruption of justice is frequently condemned in Deuteronomy 16:19. The Israelites are condemned. Do not deny justice or show partiality. Do not accept a bribe, for bribes blind the eyes of the wise and twist the words of the righteous. The command underscores the expectation that judges should be impartial and incorruptible, and in Tennessee they're not. Literally, judges in the state of Tennessee have wrote, while Major Stacy Heatherly was causing mass casualties on the roads in Tennessee, were writing good things in rulings by judges in her favor, while she was taking me off the road, making it even more dangerous for her. The prophet Samuel's sons Joel and Abram serve a poignant example of judicial corruption. In Samuel 8:3, it is recorded, but his sons did not walk in his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain, accepted bribes, and perverted justice. They're perverting justice in the state of Tennessee right now. Their corruption led to the people's demand for a king, illustrating how the failure of judges can have far-reaching consequences. The prophet Micah also speaks against corrupt judges, saying his leaders judge for a bribe, her priests teach for a price, and her prophets practice deviation for money. Yet they lean upon the Lord, saying, is not the Lord among us? No disaster will come upon us. That's what they think. We can't win this. No disaster will come upon these rich, powerful elite. The passage highlights the hypocrisy and false security of those who pervert justice while claiming divine favor. In the New Testament, Jesus addressed the issue of unjust judges in a parable, and listen to this, of the persistent widow. I'm the product of a widow from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee, where Dr. Martin Luther King said, let freedom ring. In Luke 18:2-5, Jesus described a judge who neither feared God nor respected men. Look at the judges in Tennessee. They don't fear God or respect men. Despite the lack of integrity, the judge eventually grants justice to the widow due to her persistence. Our persistence, attrition. Keep going. Keep running. Keep asking for votes. Keep knocking. Keep asking. Don't look at their scoreboard. I know what their scoreboard says. I'm well aware of their false propaganda. The scales will tip. The truth has more weight and value than lies and false propaganda. Major Stacy Heatherly is not a good person. She's trying to walk out of here like that and leave the status quo intact. We're not going to let her do that. This parable illustrates the contrast between human judges and the righteous judgment of God. God's on our side. God is on our side. Let me proclaim that today. On our side of righteousness, the preservation of society, and the protection and well-being of all Tennesseans, not on the side of the rich, powerful elite that seek to destroy you. The parable illustrates the contrast between human judges and the righteous judgment of God, encouraging believers to trust in God's ultimate justice. God has ultimate justice in the state of Tennessee, in the United States of America. So let's look at some of the verses from the Bible if you want some encouragement. Psalm 31:7a, I will be glad and rejoice in thy mercy, for thou hast considered my trouble. God considers our trouble. Our trouble right now. We're not in power right now. We're on the sidewalk. They're in the courtrooms getting time cut off for them. Thou hast considered my trouble. Thou hast known my soul in adversaries and adversities, and hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a large room. God is going to set our feet in a large room, I believe. Don't dwell on your difficulties. Don't focus on the negative. Commit ourselves in this movement to God. Have faith in the possibility of a future. There's a life to be lived and a government to be ran in our favor. And whatever we have to do, hop, roll, or whatever we have to do, we got to get our government back. We have to stay in the game. What can we do now this scourge is upon us? Is what we have to think. When you're stuck, cover as much ground as you can till an answer comes up. Stay in the fight, and we're in it. We're in the fight. Big goals, big risk, big wins is what we're after. Big goals, big risks, big thinking, big goals, big wins. That's what we're after. And we can win. We can win. So here's the Vietnam Veterans of American Chapter honored Major Stacy Heatherly with the commemorative plaque recognizing her service and upcoming retirement. She also shared how the Tennessee Highway Patrol serves communities beyond crashes and citations. What a lie. Still in valor. While this man here is a real veteran that is due a Purple Heart that should be honored by those two, but it's not. While she's still in valor, he deserves valor. Now that's the battle lines, the false propaganda that we're up against. Denying a man that really served and really was injured in the war his honors while honoring the unhonorable is disgusting. Disgusting. And that is what we're up against. Let me read you, because some things about hope, because somebody challenged my hope. They don't want me to have hope, and that's not happening because God's alive. Psalm 18:19. So I'll spread the message of hope. That's what I'm about, hope. Psalm 18:19. He brought me forth also to a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. Psalm 31:8. And thou hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. God's not going to shut us up in the hands of the enemy, the people in power. Thou hast set my feet in a large room. God's going to put us in a large place. The mass people in Tennessee, the mass populace, there's a lot of room for you. You need a lot of room. There's a lot of people. We're going to set our feet in a large room. They only need a small room for their little elite group of people. There's not that many of them. That's why they're afraid of us. I called on the Lord in distress. The Lord answered me and set me in a large place. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear what man can do to me. We're just talking about large, large government. We're gonna go get our government by epic fury at the voting booth. Read these verses again. Psalm 18:19, Psalm 31:8, Psalm 11:17, 5-6. I'll talk about a large place. Large place, prosperity, big, huge. That's the thing in the Bible. 18:19, he brought me forth also into a large place, big. He delivered me because he delighted in us. God delights in all of us. Don't want us to put up with this. Psalm 31:8, and hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a large room. Large place, large room. Wow. Psalm 117, 5-6, called upon the Lord in distress. The Lord answered me and set me in a large place. The Lord is on my side. The Lord's on our side. The Lord's on both sides. The Lord is on the side of epic fury at the polls. I will not fear. They may assassinate me. I won't fear that. What man can do unto me? So we got a large place, large room, and a large place. And that's where we're headed to. And we have hope that will come to fruition. So, as I started this out, let me go over this again. Trying to retire, trying to walk out of here, stealing state taxpayers' money. Here's the deal. Harry Callahan. Well, we're not just going to let you walk out of here, crook. Who's we, sucker? That's what. Let me get her picture. Let me get her picture so we can draw out the battle lines clearly. Let me get her picture here so we can draw out the battle lines clearly. Right there. Right there she is. Well, we're not just going to let you walk out of here, crook, retiring. Yeah. She says, who's we, sucker? Symbolically putting the truth out against these people in government. That's all of us, mass Tennesseans. We're not going to let them walk out of here like that. We're not going to let her just retire and go on, and the people in power maintain the status quo. People running for power saying they're running for liberty and leaving the liberty out for millions of Tennesseans. And let me give you a few more messages of hope. And this broadcast today is about hope. Somebody tried to take away my hope, but you didn't get it done. So here is God is good all the time. God is greater than any problem. Prayer changes things. Thanking God for freedom. So remember those. As we close, we may be back on here tomorrow. Thank y'all very much for listening. And like, share, comment, contribute if you can. Share this message. We're on the governor's ballot. Running for Tennessee governor. We got a federal civil lawsuit against people in state power right now, trying to fight for our and your constitutional rights, trying to fight for a right to represent you in Tennessee courtrooms, in federal court. trying to win the governor's office to fight for you in the governor's race. And we're also on YouTube and fighting spreading information. We'll show you the beautiful view. And as I always say, God loves you and I do too. Thanks for joining us today.